Thank you for joining us. Today's session is Gardening for Life, and I'm going to hand it off to our master gardeners, Marilyn and Ann, to formally introduce themselves and kick off today's presentation.
Hey, my name, we're from the Gardening for Life group. We've changed our names over the years, but we support good body mechanics, joint protection, energy conservation, and enjoying gardening through life. So, let me just see. Okay, I have been retired for 7 years. I had 42 years of surgery nursing where I killed my back, and then I go into gardening every day and I kill my back some more. So, but you're never too old to play in the dirt. When I retired, I got some chickens, and I'm raising chickens. I have 4 new babies, so I'm up to 11 now, and that's the fun part of my day. So I live in Delafield, Wisconsin. My backyard, my 4 acres, goes into Lapham Peak Park, and so this is the summer garden view, and then this was the winter garden view of that same area. And then right now, I just want to point out that 2 to 3 of my 4 acres are full of Virginia bluebells. So I'm trying to get the garlic mustard to go away and to get the Virginia bluebells to take over. So that's my goal. It's a good goal. This is not my front yard because I have deer, and these are tulips. Tulips are eaten by deer. And today with me, I have Ann Loper, and she will introduce herself.
Hi, as Marilyn said, I'm Ann Loper. I was a teacher's aide at a Milwaukee Public School elementary school for grades K4 through 5th grade for about 24 years. And I retired 3 years ago. And first year I used to travel out of the state and out of the country. And now I travel to my yard. And I've got a great gardens right now because I have the time to spend in them. So that's and now I get to be the Vanna White with Marilyn.
That's right. She's my demo girl. So we do a lot of presentations in person. You know, we have tools like there for, you know, in case zombies do come to your house, we're always prepared. So she's got that. And then just a little about our group. Our the Gardening Through Life project got a first place Search for Excellence award in 2017, and they flew 3 of us out there to Portland, Oregon, where we got a wood plaque because they're very green out there. We got a wood plaque first for our special needs gardening project. So that was a highlight of our year. We're still looking who has that plaque, but you know. So the Southeast Wisconsin Master Gardeners, if you just go to that site for the Southeast one, you'll see lifelong gardening down there where the arrow points to, and it has our whole big toolkit in it of things you can look up and find available. Here's our toolkit. Exercises, all the brochures that they attached today to the presentation are in this gardening kit. Also, every tool that we talk about is in our tool book. So you can look in the tool book inventory. It tells you how much they are, where you can get them, kind of, and what they do ergonomically for you. And it also has PowerPoints and such in there. So our mission statement talks about how we educate the public on principles and methods to enable gardeners to enjoy gardening through life. We either modify the garden, like a raised bed or something, or we modify the gardener with a different tool. So I don't know if you're ready, Ann. Can you do it today?
I'm ready. So
okay.
This, I guess I should have put in my intro that this is my new part-time day job, so as a radio announcer. So this is our disclaimer. The gardening tools and techniques you see and experience today are designed to enable people with physical impairments to participate in gardening activities. These tools and techniques are also designed to prevent injury and pain while gardening. This information is general only and should not be construed as medical advice or treatment. You should consult a physician concerning your own situation and any physical problems and medical questions you may have before putting these techniques and tools to use in your own garden. Okay, now we're done with the business.
There we go.
Okay, on to the fun part.
So she's telling us we're not doctors. She's a teacher. I'm an old nurse, and we're just giving you little helpful hints. So understanding the tools, these are our objectives, proper body mechanics, learning about the tools and techniques, and understanding that energy conservation. I got it. Remind me to change that.
Yeah.
So, do you suffer from arthritis? I sleep with him every night. Arthur, yeah. Are you losing range of motion, limited mobility, aches and pains? All of the above. No matter where we are in this garden journey, always consider the scale of your gardening project. Whether you're totally into gardening for yourself and you're a little hermit there, or you just love to see others do the work. This is at Rotary Gardens in Janesville. They change the scenes and the colors every year. Just remember, we are not Martha Stewart. She has her people to do all the heavy lifting. All she can do is do a squeeze bottle there and water the ferns. And don't forget your tools. Gardening smarter, not harder. May be a matter of selecting the right tools for the job. If they look like this, you're in trouble this year. My husband sharpened all mine for the first time in a long time, so I'm all set. And the first rule of gardening is to dig everything. Having 3 labs in the house, I had to cement a lot of areas because they kept digging through them. So, tool considerations, what are they? Lightweight, ergonomic design tools. There's a lot out there. Long handled, increase reach, decrease bending, smaller ends. Consider the weight of that tool. And whenever you can, use 2 hands rather than 1. So this is a cute little house. I looked it up on Gardener Supply. It was $350, so I did not order it. So, but you want to store your tools close to where you're using them. Avoided carrying them a long distance, extra trips. With my 4 acres of gardening that I do, if I forget something, then I have to go all the way back. And using a 2-wheel cart rather than a wheelbarrow, we'll talk about that. And keeping your tools clean, sharpened, and lubricated. And why do we do that? In case of zombies or yard work. That's why we keep our tools handy. So this was me the last few months waiting for the weather to warm up so I can garden. And we're going to be talking about how to protect your joints while we're still on this side of the daisies. So there's some good reason to use good body mechanics. Maintain balance and control. As we get older, balance and control kind of start leaving us. Prevent injury, falling over, make tasks easier, and prevent unnecessary fatigue and strain. So we have some 8 rules of gardening. And we're going to have Ann do some demonstration for us here in a little bit, but I'm going to just go through them. So we're going to maintain a broad base of support. We're going to bend at the hips and the knees rather than that lower back part. Get close to an object. Use those stronger, larger muscles, your legs, your upper arms. And use your body weight to push and pull. I have a lot of good body weight being after COVID, I found 10 more pounds of body weight just to push and pull. And then you can see how not to bend and how to bend, carrying heavy objects, avoid twisting. We're going to talk about bending for long periods of time, and for heavy objects, get some help or use a device or a tool, or that little neighbor boy over there. So, Ann.
Okay, so you thought you were going to sit during this presentation. Well, I'm going to have everybody stand up, and we're going to try to find our broad base of support. So first of all, your feet should be shoulder length width apart. First of all, stand so that your feet are parallel, facing forward. And see how that, kind of rock back and forth and see how that feels. Now, bring one foot forward just a little. maybe half of a foot in front of it, and see how you feel that you have more a control of your balance. Your feet should be a little separated so that you don't just fall over, because someone could come over and kind of push you right over. Are your knees locked? Hope not. Your knees should not be locked. You can bend them just a little so you can sway.
Are their toes,
Then,
are their toes pointed in the direction of their movement?
yeah, no, they should be pointing straight forward. Now, I'm going to bend sideways. So when you bend those knees, keep your back straight, kind of like you're playing football. You're at, not football, baseball. Baseball, that's the season.
An umpire or
like the umpire. And you can rest your hands on your knees and see how my back is straight, and that's protecting your back. And then you can pick up larger, you're using your muscles, your leg muscles and your arms, and you shouldn't, hopefully won't injure yourself that way.
So what we do when we have a presentation, we have everybody kind of stand up at the end and kind of hover down over their chair. So that's so they can feel what it feels like. And if you fell right on your chair. But this is going to be helping us when we have to go to the bathroom and we're 95 years old. We want to keep those muscles really nice and tight. And we want to be prepared out there out in the garden. So Dana White here has brought her little bag with her. And in that bag, she usually doesn't carry the handout for the warm up your muscles as exercise. Just like anything, gardening is exercise. So we attached a handout to this presentation that goes through different things, to stretch your muscles and get you prepared for that garden. And what do you have in that bag there, Ann?
Okay, well, I have a hat because the sun, I need to keep that out of my eyes. And
even on cloudy days?
Well, sometimes, but generally when the sun is out, if it ever comes out. And then we have, okay, I had my sunglasses here. Here we go, sunglasses or reading glasses. I actually need these more than I need sunglasses sometimes. And sunscreen. And of course, bug spray. Because we get those wonderful mosquitoes. Although I just heard that they're creating some mosquito that will somehow
Eat the
I don't know,
ones?
to kill off the bad mosquitoes, and I don't.
We'll probably have tsetse fly disease, malaria with the new one.
Yeah. Cell phone. I have mine in a little carrier so I can clip it onto my waist, and then I can get my steps in. And don't forget water. You should be keeping hydrated.
I have
water, not vodka. Vodka could be at nighttime. And I have my favorite tools here. I like this because it's nice and sharp. Oh, there we go. It's serrated on that one side, sharp on this side, and it's super pointed to get out any weeds or bulbs or hostas, cut them in half. And then if you notice, I have pink on some of my tools. You can get this tape at Ace Hardware, and you just rip it off, tie it around one of your tools, because I found one of my tools in the compost pile a couple years ago. Totally forgot about it. So you don't want to forget where lose your tools around the garden.
And for the men, does it come in a different color than pink?
Oh, there's orange and there's neon green. And
Good.
Yes, yeah. And then you want to make sure you find gloves that will fit you. I should do that now. No, maybe I'll do that later.
Sure.
Now?
Sure.
So you want to make sure you find a glove that fits you, because this kind of won't help you with your weeding, will it? No.
And it only has 4 fingers.
4 fingers. So there we have these bionic gloves, which they were originally created as golf gloves, but they have elastic on the top of the knuckles where you bend them, so there's no stress against the knuckles. Then there's padding on the inside to help prevent any blistering on the palm of the hand and on the fingers. And it's so it can breathe when it's warm out. You can wash these, but they'll last maybe just a couple years because they are leather. Then there's also some gloves for the rose bush. If you wanna, they go up the arm. I like these a lot for when trimming my roses. So you've got the short version or the longer version.
They're also nice and warm. So if you have any arthritis kind of issues and it's cool outside, it keeps your joints very nice and protected also.
Yeah. Sure.
Right.
I think that's it for or of course, a favorite pruner.
We'll talk about those later. Good advice is timeless. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And as we age, we know that Benjamin Franklin was true then, and it's true now. So we're going to pay attention to your body. If you're aching or you have pain, I was moving some stuff for my son yesterday. I woke up this morning and I looked like the person in the upper left there. Ouch, my back, oh my this. And then, so if you have pain, stop. Because gardening can be a full body workout. Triceps, your forearms, your thighs. We can really get a good workout with that, with just gardening. And then after gardening, it's good to have your wine aerobics and repeat it again, but don't go back out and use tools. Hydration is very important. Taking frequent breaks. Out of every hour, they say you should take a 5-10 minute break. Sit down. Actually, some of those things that we use for gardening can actually be sat on and used as a resting place. Switching tasks frequently. Change positions often. Sit to do a task. I have a herniated back in the middle of my back, so sitting for long periods is not very good for me, but whatever your body and your doctor say. Using larger muscles rather than the hand, the little tiny hand up there, the wrong way. Use your forearms, hands carrying there. Rather than pruning with one hand forever, use the two-hand lopper. Recruit more muscles. So there's the little boy on the left, the blondie that I was moving. He's 42. So I always vision them as cute little guys now. And so these are some of the possibilities you can use for carts to transport. They make them for that. And you can also, if you've given up golfing because you're older, you can use that bag and the cart for your long tools, and the side pockets are all just great. And rolling rather than carrying is important. We talked about wheelbarrows before, and those put a lot of stress on your shoulders. And the tippy weight of them, use a two-wheeled cart. And I am the proud owner of that purple one at the bottom there, the two-wheeled cart, and I just love it through the garden. It is pretty wide, so I had to make some of my paths a little wider. And down on the right, I hope you can see that Anne is just moving a pot around with a kind of pot mover. We'll talk about that later. Using smaller ends of the tool, saving energy. So just because Ace Hardware sells that big $5 rake on the left, doesn't mean that's the best for you. It has a little pipe, cushion, pipe insulation on it with some either duct tape or electrical tape. That's so you don't get the calluses on your hand. Even though you're wearing gloves, you can still have calluses. And it's at the right roundness for your working. So she has the rakes there. And then what you want to do is dance with the rake. Anne, can you show them how not to use a rake?
Oh. And I know a lot of us do that, but I'm reaching, you don't want to do that. You keep your back up straight, and you kind of rock back and forth.
Oh.
You know, I have my feet again, like hip width or shoulder width apart. And I'm just rocking back and forth versus reaching. So I'm standing upright.
And same thing for a vacuum. You want to follow the vacuum. You don't want to be reaching forward, pulling back and everything. So it can save your back that way too. Talking about larger muscles and joints, these are some of the devices that we have found that work so that you can use your larger muscles rather than the tiny little hand muscles that over the years aren't as strong. So we have this little box there. So if you have a on-off switch right against the house and it's got the little old rivets on it, as in the middle one there, all you have to do is, we made one out of a dowel and a piece of wood. And we also, there's the manufactured one. Yep, on off, she's using bigger muscles. And then there's a manufactured one where it flips forward so that once you get to the house is really close, you just move the thing around and then you can tighten and open it. Otherwise, I have to have my husband come out. I said, you shut this off, come out here and turn it on for me. And recruiting more muscles and joints. So this is a Fiskars. We have a lot of Fisker things when we don't promote the Fisker company, but they're out of Madison and they do a lot of good gardening tools. And just because this is a 2.5 gallon and it's 2 hands, so you can use 2 hands, which is good, but can you lift 2.5 gallons, which is about 22 pounds? Should you lift 22 pounds? You know, so might want to fill it halfway, do a few more extra little walks to that plant. So I want to grow my own food. I try this every year, but if anybody knows the catalog for the bacon seeds, you call me, okay? We're going to talk about hands. So, Anne.
Okay, so the proper grip for a tool, if you hold your hands up, just touch the pointing finger and a thumb and make a circle. That's as small as your grip should be. You'll notice in the upper right-hand corner, they're going over, they're crossing over. Well, you're stressing all these knuckles. You want to keep it nice and loose. And if say you have your favorite tool, you can just add this pipe insulation with electrical tape. So then, see my hands, the tips are just touching. They're not crossing over. And that's what you want.
Okay, and thumb pressure. I don't know if anybody's ever tried to do those little ones up on the left there, on off. Once the pressure of the water's on there, I can hardly ever move them. Lee Valley makes a very nice long handled thing, and Ann showed us that on the, yep, it just goes on, off, and a lot of bigger muscles are moving that, so no thumb pressure. And avoid prolonged pinching and squeezing. So what they do now, they have these, you can look like a fireman, and it's very exciting. Just forward, backwards, on, off, so you aren't using your hand gripping the whole time.
This turns super easy.
Mm-hmm.
I love this, and then it's centered to your body, so you're not just straining one side of your arm.
Yeah, and if you do have one like the one in the upper left there, make sure it has a little catch on it so that it can hold itself, so you don't have to squeeze the whole time. Seed tapes are another nice little thing, better method type of thing. You can make them homemade with some paper, just newspaper, if you still find the newspaper around. And then you just a little dab of school glue and a little seed on there.
And when you want to put your paintbrush in a styrofoam ball, because otherwise I'm pinching my fingers together and I'm putting too much stress on my joints. So if I just put it in this ball, I'm just, whoop, I'm gently dipping it into the glue, into the seed, and then onto the paper.
Well, that you can do in January and February while you're watching that snowfall. And then the seed dialer on the right does a little.
It's hard to see, but there's little grooves.
Yep.
For different size seeds. I use this mainly I used it for my spinach and lettuce seeds, and I'll use it for my carrot seeds. I love this because they're not all grouped together. You don't have like one seed here and then 10 to 20 over there, and then you have to thin them out. They're just spread out nice and evenly. And you just put it in the little groove, put the cap on, and dial it to whatever size seed you have.
And those are pretty well available. I've seen those around. So and then we're going to select proper pruner for your hand size. So on the right, it's the wrong way. If you can't get that first digit over that handle, you're stretching the whole time, and that causes a lot of stress on your hand. All kinds of proper pruners here. There's left-handed, right-handed, bypass, anvil, cut and hold, left-handed, small-handed, power gears, and ratcheted ones. So what do you have in your hand? You're going to show them?
This one is this portion actually twists, so it kind of moves with your fingers. But you can't see the first joint of my finger. I have to take my other hand and close it. So this one would be way too big for me. So let's see, there's this one. Again, that's still a little big for me, even though.
But they are nice and ergonomic. They do move
Right.
with the hand.
That's another twist. So if you go to the store, when you go to the store, we suggest you try the tools in hand. So if they ask you what you do, just tell them Ann and Marilyn told you that you should try these, but first before you buy them. They'll be okay.
And I don't know how you are with, but we have anvil versus bypass. So the anvil is just like a blade. It's tend to crush soft plant tissue. So you only want to use the anvil for dead or dry wood. It just comes up against the end and smash over, dead. So think of Anne Boleyn's head coming off or something. Bypass blade actually goes through the tissue of the plant stem that you're using. So it goes through and it gives it a nice cut, closer, precise. And if you don't have this big guy sitting with you at home, you don't want to be using one of these big green loppers over there, or there's some big ratcheted kind of things that also extend and put a lot of stress on your shoulders and your elbows. So you don't want to do that. So that's the one.
It's really heavy. And then of course, if you extend, I can't even, oh, there.
Yeah. Then you can extend it to like 4 feet and then try to lift it over your head, and then you won't be doing it very long. So look at the weight of the item you're using, the branch width, that type, anvil versus bypass. Are you doing dead wood or not? And then look for ease of commendation by Arthritis Foundation. So cutting capacity, 1.5 inches. It's titanium. It's light. It's lovely. It's is it ratcheted? Kind of? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. And it cuts very lovely. And you could hold it up all day without getting tired. So.
This one's super light.
And there's always, to go to the power battery one, the reciprocating saws is what I bought my husband 2 years ago. And he hasn't used it, but I use it all the time, especially for buckthorn and all kinds of, trimming kind of things. So I love power tools. We're going to talk about wrists and forearms and the neutral wrist. When you have a nice neutral wrist, you want to look at all the bad ways to the left. I mean, just doing computer work, can stress your wrist. So the neutral wrist is a least stressful posture. If you put your hand comfortably at your side, that is a neutral wrist. So just at her side, and it's straight down, and that's the way it should be, you know, when you're using tools also. So neutral up, neutral down. Best positions, poor positions are when you're bending things and torquing things. So straight up, straight down is what you want to do. And good positions, also, we have some PETA tools that we demonstrate. When I do a lot of talks to different stroke, post-stroke kind of clubs and stuff, or people who have limited range of motion and not much strength in their arms, these PETA tools go, they make you use the tool right. So that's important. Do you have one there, Ann?
So we've got a little tool here, and you can attach this cuff right to the tool, because there's a little square there, can attach it. So now I'm using my larger muscle, and it and my wrist stays straight. Like Marilyn said, it forces you to have a good position with your arm.
Talk about hips, backs, and knees. Keep the ones you have healthy. So gardeners are wanted, but they must be looking good bending over. I saw that sign when I was up north. So Ann's kneeling on the ground. She's holding the tool wrong. It's not an ergonomic size tool for her wrist. And the lady on the right is for sure not doing the right thing. Bending at the hip, you know, the waist there. She's not bending her knees. Too much stress on the back. Weeding the good positions would be the same lady on the right, but she's on one knee, giving support to her back with that hand on the other knee. And I'm sitting there and down in the ground, and I don't have to bend my back or curve my back. There's a Fisker's uproot weeder. So if you have, you know, I wouldn't recommend it for a field of dandelions, but if you have some weeds in your grass and you don't want to dig them out by hand, this Fisker's is very sharp and easy to use. And you just step on it, step back, and at the end, click, click, put it in.
These close up around the weed, and then you just pull it back and it pulls it out. I was doing this yesterday. I used this.
You were good. And then you just click it right into your bag, your raised up bag. Good positions for weeding. So the first one on the top in the middle, purple, she's bent over, bad. The second one, still, it's not a good position that she's using. And I have an 8-foot diamond hoe. So if you see on the bottom right over there, it's shaped like a diamond. It scrapes back, it scrapes forth, takes off all the heads of the little weeds in the thing, and usually they don't come back unless you have purslane. Purslane just improves their germination and makes them go everywhere. So our model up on the left is using that same one knee on the ground. I have a total knee, so that I use that position a lot. Her back is straight. And then she also has that little tool, little bench over there. And you can pull yourself up, push yourself up off the ground. So I don't kneel on it because it's too hard for me with my knee, but I bring it along a whole row with me. And when I'm trying to get up at the end, I'm all out here in the Kettle Moraine area. So hills, hills, hills. And I need to use that to get up. Otherwise I'm rolling down the hill. These are some more kneelers and sitting kind of things. Make sure that you can open and close, you know, the item, the bottom right there, that you can work with that. The all-terrain gel knee pads are lovely. I can actually kneel on those. And they strap around the back of your pants. And yep, we've got a little Velcro kind of thing on there. So those are very nice, thick, thick, thick gel. We modify tools also with different wraps and such. We make our own homemade kind of tools. And we showed you that. And there's also these little grips that you can order or find at hardware stores. So the D grip helps you keep you upright, and with the T grip at the top keeps you upright so you aren't bending over and holding and turning your wrist also. And then
These are super easy to get on and off. All you do is twist it and move it up or down to the right position you want. And this one too, so no tools are required to adjust this at all.
That's the nice part about those.
Yeah.
So somebody in our group made this planting device. So you're planting a 100 row thing of beans. You take the dowel. It's like a broom handle and a PVC pipe with some pipe. No, what are they called? Clamps.
Clamps. We always forget this word, this term. It's a clamp.
Okay, the guys will know what these are. They right there on the bottom. But you just type those require tools, and you just, or you could do well, those are adjustable, so you can make so you have 1 inch below. 1 inch below the dowel is 1 inch because you have the beans you want to plant.
Should be this way.
Pop it in the garden. Move your thing 1 inch. Put the bean down the tube, and you never have to bend over. Talking about spearhead spade, I think everybody in our Southeast Master Gardener group bought a spearhead spade. It cuts through the roots of buckthorn. It goes through hostas. It goes through vine. It's a wonderful tool. Bending the knees is important. The wrong way, standing up, not bending the knees, and twisting is not good. So once again, where your feet are pointed, that's where you should be. Not lifting it with your back curled like that. Bend those knees. Don't twist and lift something. And no matter how light, you can hurt your back. And then there's a 2 hands when possible. Especially we have some light and aluminum extendable loppers, pruners for like raspberries or something like that would be wonderful for. And then we also have cut and hold tools. Can you show us how that works, Ann?
So you'll notice there's a little black cover on the side, not so much just on the tip. That should be facing up. And when you cut the flower, it holds it. So if you have diseased plants or the diseased flowers, you don't want it falling down with where the others are, you can just put it in a bucket. Or if you're gathering a bouquet of flowers and you have a basket in one hand and you just put it in the bucket. So cut and hold.
And I'm also using a cut and hold on the left lower one there. I'm actually picking a pear from that tree, not wearing a helmet, because I can cut it and hold it and bring it down to the ground. And we want to watch your movements when you have your neck looking up. No, 5-minute maximum on neck movements in that torquing position. So cutting and holding, they all come in all different sizes. That one I'm doing went up to like 12 feet. So work simplification, energy conservation, plan ahead, weed after watering, using mulch, leaves, newspaper, etc. keeps the moisture in. On my acres, I have, I'm a dumpster diver, so I go and find old mailboxes and cartons and stuff and paint them, put them out in my woods, and I have gloves in there. I have pruning shears in there. So when I'm out and I need to do something, I've got my tools right there. So, and you can, yeah, they can hide anywhere. So, and use garden seats, knee pads, garden close to home, use energy conserving equipment, And we can talk about a little accessibility to water. You know, if your garden's way far away from, you have to drag hoses and everything, start as you're older, make those gardens come closer to your house. Self-watering containers are good, or irrigation. My girlfriend's got hers all on timers. And where rain barrels are another one, where rain and putting your containers under a eave of a house, well, they'll never get watered there. And mulch to conserve that moisture. Drought resistant plants, watering wands are another thing. Pot lifters, these help less stress on your back, joints, and muscles. 2 people can do a 200-pound, you know, your big field pumpkin. And we talked about the pot mover caddy. You have that big concrete thing on your patio, and you want to move it from into the garage in the winter. This is a very nice tool. Raised garden beds bring the garden up to you. Vertical planting. This is an old shoe rack off to the right, and they planted some lettuce and types of things. The possibilities are endless. And this is something you always say to your husband, do these plants make my butt look big? And he says, no, dear. Container gardening is another possibility. If you want to scale down over the years and just have little containers. And the key points to remember about today: keep a wide base of support, keep your back straight, bend at the knees, avoid twisting, keep your load close to your body, push rather than pull whenever possible. The thing that's hurting you today will only hurt worse tomorrow if you don't change something. And using all these techniques and the right tools, you may enjoy gardening through life. Thank you for attending. Were there any questions? Sarah?